everyone, it is Joshua here, and today we are on some more Pokemon Showdown. On the last Pokemon Showdown video, we got it's just amazing that this did so well the last time, so we're gonna continue. I mean, yeah, it only got like 6 views, but it got really good, likes. Like, it got even comments saying it was good. So, I bring you more Pokemon Showdown. Okay, so as you can see here, I don't need to show you my team because I showed you my team in the last one. So as you can see here, here is the team of like Suicunes, 3 of them, and he has a Wishcash, a Gliscor, and a Mew. Now, this battle is really interesting, especially because all of his Pokemon only use, wait for it, one-hit KO moves. All of them only use one-hit KO moves. So I go for a Bug Buzz, and it doesn't do not enough damage to kill it, obviously. He goes for Fissure again, which misses. I go for Bug Buzz and get the crit off. And then he goes for Fissure and misses again. So I think you know what's going to happen next. I go for Bug Buzz and it kills the Wishcash. So far it's looking pretty good. Now, I'm going to turn it to normal. Okay, so the Suicune comes out. And I go for Thunderbolt, which does about half of its health. He goes for Sheer Cold, lands it, but the Focus Sash, though, just stops it, just denied. But this team, all their other moves are Protect, which is really dumb. So, it also has Extreme Speed. So, it just Extreme Speeds the Galvantula, which kills it instantly, because priority. So, I go, okay, I'll send out Zekrom then. And it goes for Protect, which means the Bolt Strike isn't going to do anything. Now, I wasn't expecting this, but I go for Bolt Strike again, but he switches into Gliscor, or Gliscor, depending on how you pronounce it, and it does nothing. Obviously, this is a Poison Heal Gliscor, so I go for Stone Edge, and it uses Fling, which gives Toxic to Zekrom, which is pretty interesting. So, he uses Protect again. Or, I mean, yeah, I guess he does use Protect again, because he used it on different Pokemon. So, I pull back Zekrom, and I pull out Miss Magius, because I'm like, okay. He gets Guillotine off, which actually hits, but since I'm immune, it does nothing. Which is really funny. So, he goes for Suicune, and I went for Energy Ball, which literally almost kills it. I was going for Energy Ball because it was a ground type. So, he goes for Protect again, like a scrub. And Protect wears off, he gets hit with another Energy Ball, blah blah blah, it's dead. So far, the only Pokemon I've lost is Galvantula. Now, the other Suicune comes out, and it takes more than half of its health. Goes for Sheer Cold and misses. So this is kind of like one of those battles where just nothing is working for the opposite team. And you're just doing so well. So, I hit it with another Energy Ball, which leaves it at 2%, and it uses Sheer Cold misses. So that's probably its perfect time to get a Sheer Cold off, but it doesn't. And then it goes for Protect, so it's basically just a stall team. But, hey, it worked pretty well for stalling. It died, though, so there we go. I've taken out 2 of the Suicunes. And out comes a Mew. And I use Night Slash on the Mew, which doesn't kill it, but it gets the Fissure off. Which is dumb, but it got the Fissure off and killed me. So I sent out Miss Magius because I'm like, okay, I could Shadow Ball it. And then it just goes for Protect. So his entire team is basically just one-hit KO move, Protect. Except for the Gliscor, which has Fling. So he switches out into his final Suicune, which, since I have Choice Specs on, I am stuck using Shadow Ball, which does not enough damage for it to be useful. So he goes for Protect again, and I go for Shadow Ball because I'm like, okay, I just might as well. just attack him. So I go for Shadow Ball again. He's down to 40%. Sheer Cold misses. I know I'm not sounding too enthusiastic, but it's basically the exact same thing the entire time. So I switch out into Porygon Z. He goes for Protect, so I get a free switch in. And he withdraws Suicune and sends out Gliscor, which I discharge and does nothing. I probably should have expected that. But then he switches again into Suicune. But I decide, okay, I'll just use Tri Attack. And it literally almost kills the Suicune and gets a burn off. Which isn't going to kill it, but still leaves it at 8 HP. So now I go for Dark Pulse, because I was kind of thinking he might switch into Mew, or it'd just do damage and it'd be better. So I went for Tri Attack again anyways, and it killed the Suicune. Amazing. Not definitely the same thing we've seen like 5 times. So I go for Dark Pulse, thinking he might have switched into Mew. But actually, no, wait, that's the wrong thing. Because I knew he switched into Gliscor. I went for Dark Pulse because, I don't know, I thought it'd do more damage than Tri Attack. But, proves to me that Tri Attack is awesome. But he forgets that he flung his Toxic Orb at Zekrom, which means now he can't use the Fling at all. So he just wasted his turn. Which means I got a free attack. So I go for Tri Attack, and it leaves him with 2 HP left. And this is when I really wish that Toxic was hurting him. So he gets the Poison Heal off, which heals 12%, which I didn't know. And then he just forfeits. Right there. Just done. Now, the reason I showed this battle and didn't just, not use it is mostly because the team was just ridiculously funny. So we're going to move on to the next battle. The next battle is actually a team, not a full team of whatever was the last one, which is just one-hit KOs. So next, we go into this battle. So he sends out the Regirock. I'm going to send it into normal. And Galvantula comes out, obviously. So I go for Sticky Web, and it goes for Stone Edge, which nearly kills it. And I go for Volt Switch. It was a misclick. I did not mean to go for Volt Switch. I meant to go for Bug Buzz, so I had to switch into Gastrodon, which tanks the Stone Edge. And then he goes for Hammer Arm, which goes faster than me, surprisingly. And I survive, obviously, because it's my tank. And I use Scald, which nearly kills it. I go for Scald again because it's slower and it dies. So, little note, Regirock is faster than a Gastrodon. So then Viper comes out, and I'm thinking, you know what, it's Poison type. So I use Earth Power, but then it uses Giga Drain and kills me. So I send out Galvantula, and the only reason I sent Galvantula out is just because I needed him to die, because he was at 1 HP. He almost kills the Viper, though, which is pretty cool that he almost kills it. I really didn't think he'd even bring it down that far. So I bring in Porygon Z, and I go straight for Tri Attack, which kills the Viper. And then he sends out Zangoose, and I'm like, okay, I'll just Tri Attack it again. And it one-shots it. This is the power of Porygon Z. And then he sends out Flygon, which I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'll just Tri Attack it. But he Earthquakes me. I Tri Attack him, and nearly kills the Flygon. And then he goes for Earthquake again and kills Porygon Z. So that kind of stinks. So I send out Miss Magius. I'm like, okay, we'll just use Energy Ball, because he's a ground type, but I forgot he was a flying type, so it's just neutral damage. And I was really hoping he'd switch into Relicanth, because it'd be so much easier to kill. So I switch into Bisharp. He goes for Sucker Punch, which fails. And again, he goes for Spiky Shield, not Protect, but he does go for Spiky Shield, which does 13% of my health. He Sucker Punches, does like nothing, and then I Poison Jab him, which takes him down to 1 HP because he's a Grass type, and I get the Poison off, which kills him, which made that Focus Sash completely useless. Now, he sends out Relicanth, and I'm like, okay, what's he going to use? I'm going to sort of switch into Miss Magius and use Energy Ball. And then I get rejected hard with a Head Smash, and I die. So that was pretty dumb. So I send out Bisharp, and I use this Iron Head, which, boom, gets the flinch off. And then I use Iron Head again, which I don't get the flinch off this time, but he does have a Citrus Berry. He uses Head Smash and misses, which kind of sucks. And I go for Iron Head, which kills the Relicanth. So, bang. Sorry for that. That was a cut, but it was like perfect timing though. Okay, so moving on to the final actual battle. This is against Jared. His team is really close to my friend's team. Like, the left half of his team, which is the Metagross, the Hydreigon, and the Aegislash. All those Pokemon look exactly like my friend's team. Because he had a shiny Metagross, he had a shiny Aegislash, not a Zeaslash, and a Hydreigon. But he did not have a Mudsdale, Tapu Bulu, or an Electros. So, moving on to the battle. So I sent out Galvantula, and he sends out Mudsdale, and I was like, yes! Because I can use Bug Buzz on it after I send up Sticky Web. So he uses Earthquake, which sends me down to my Sash, and I go for Bug Buzz, which does, like, nothing. Nowhere near as much damage as I thought it would do. So he goes for Body Slam, not Buddy Slam. Just picks up his buddy and throws it into me. So I send this Magius out, which uses Energy Ball, which doesn't kill the Mudsdale. And he goes for Heavy Slam, which nearly kills me. So I get the Energy Ball off, and that kills the Mudsdale. So then he sends out his Aegislash, because that's what it's called. Not definitely a Aegislash. And I send out Gastron, because I'm like, okay, I can just Earth Power it. So he goes for King Shield, and I go for Earth Power. But since it's a special move, I don't take Recall. But he goes for Swords Dance, and I'm just like, why? Because I could get that off. And it does a little bit more than half of his health. Then he goes for King Shield again, which I instead just attack because it doesn't really matter. He leftovers, and then he goes for a Shadow Sneak, which doesn't kill Gastron, and I go for Earth Power, which kills the Aegislash, which was just amazing. So far, I'm winning 5v4. So he sends out Tapu Bulu, which I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then he goes for Leech Seed. I go for Recover, thinking, okay, he won't kill me in one shot. And then I forget about Horn Leech, which kills me instantly, because that's what Horn Leech does. It does a ton of damage. So I send out Bisharp, because I'm like, you know what, Poison Jab will kill it, 4 times super effective. But he switches into Electros, which I get the poison off, which is awesome, but it doesn't do nearly enough damage to be helpful. I guess it is helpful anyways. So I go for Night Slash, which doesn't kill the Electros. And then he goes for Thunder Punch, which doesn't kill me. And then he survives the poison, 4%, and I hit him with Night Slash, which killed him. So, still winning by 1 Pokemon at this point. And then I'm hoping he sent it out Metagross, but he didn't, and he sent out Hydreigon, which kills Bisharp instantly. Because I was like, I don't really have Gastron out, there's no point in switching. So I go into Porygon Z, which Tri-Attack nearly kills the Hydreigon. I really wish it did, because then I wouldn't have taken damage. So I just use Tri-Attack again, and it kills the Hydreigon. Amazing. So then he sends out Tapu Bulu, and I'm like, okay, I might as well just stay and use Tri-Attack, which does, it gets really close to killing him, and then he goes for Leech Seed, which I think you might know the outcome to this, which is he heals way too much and uses Protect. Just pretty dumb, especially because he's going to heal a lot that turn from the grassy terrain and the Leech Seed, and his leftovers that he has on it. So I use Tri-Attack, and it barely doesn't kill him, which makes me so mad, because if he would have killed the Tapu Bulu, this match would have ended up a lot different, which I think you're seeing where this is going. So Miss Magius uses the Shadow Ball, which kills the Tapu Bulu instantly. Now I'm thinking, okay, this Metagross right here is still Psychic. I'm sure you knew that. So Shadow Ball will do a lot of damage, which should kill it. And then it Mega Evolves, outspeeds and Bullet Punches my Miss Magius, which kills it. So now, it's Zekrom's turn. Now, I was thinking, okay, what am I going to do? He most likely will outspeed me, so I might as well just go out with a bang. So I go for Electrum Z Bolt Strike. He goes for Earthquake, which doesn't kill me, and I hit him, and it doesn't kill him. 13% left, and I think you know the outcome. He uses Earthquake and kills Zekrom. So, this was a really, really close battle. Closer than a lot of battles have come down to. 13%. Just... Well, amazing. So, now... it's time for... Scrub Full Legendary Team. Yay! Yeah, I find these guys a lot. I really only use the first one. So, here we go. I don't know if this will come out, but he's like highlighted blue. This is really weird. Oh, there we go. Fixed it. Okay, we're just gonna reset because that was weird. Okay. So I send out Galvantula, which is pretty obvious that I go for this. And I go for Thunderbolt because I'm like, okay, I might as well just try and hit it as hard as I can. Seeing that's basically my only time to hit it. But he goes for Recreate, which takes down his stats a lot, but it's just like, I'm not going to be able to get Sticky Web off. But he switches Mega Rayquaza and goes into Groudon. Now, my reaction to this was like, why? Why would you switch into Groudon? So I get the Sticky Web off, and I go for Bug Buzz, which does, like, no damage. I just go for Bug Buzz, because it's actually something that can do a tiny bit of damage. So now I'm going to be like, okay, I'll switch into Gastrodon. Now, I'm not going to be dumb and use Scald, but he switches again. But this time he goes into Arceus, which, for some reason, is his tank. Yeah. So he takes no damage from that Earth Power and has leftovers on him. He goes for Defog, which lowers my evasion, so I can get hit by moves that wouldn't normally hit me. And he gets rid of Sticky Web. So I go for Scald, which doesn't get the burn off. I really wanted the burn. But he goes straight for a Toxic. This is what told me he was a tank. And then I went for a Power, which didn't kill him. But then he uses Recover, which is dumb. So I use Scald again, which gets the burn off this time. And let's see what he does next. He switches. Seriously, this guy switches a lot. And he switched into Xerneas, and I was thinking, I know what he's doing. White Herb Geomancy. And guess what he does? Wait for it. Aromatherapy, which gets rid of the burns from both Xerneas and Arceus. And then guess what he does? Never gonna guess this right now. You're never gonna guess it. Geomancy, White Power Herb. Not White Herb, Power Herb. I'm sorry I got that wrong. And that just does no damage. And we're gonna speed it up because it was slow. So he goes for Moonblast. This is usually what happens. So I'm just gonna fast because guess what? Moonblast, dead. Oh, you're never gonna guess what he's gonna use against this guy. Moonblast, dead. Bisharp, yep, he's gonna use a different move. Nope, Moonblast, dead. How about Zekrom? You know what? No way. Boom, Moonblast, dead. And there goes the battle. Now, I've fought Geomancy Power Herb Xerneas before. They're annoying. Really annoying. And I usually accept it because it's on a team of other Pokemon, not a team of full legendaries. Which all ended up with like 82, 84%. Except for Xerneas, which is at 40. So, I'm going to make a cut real fast. Okay, so I'm back from that cut that I was doing. And I know it's like, whoa, I'm taking like a couple seconds just to say my outro. But yeah, I kind of have to since I want to do an outro. So, thank you all for watching the second Pokemon Showdown video that I did. And yeah. Thanks for the support on the other video. The the other Pokemon Showdown video. That was just awesome. So, I guess I'll say it again because saying things again is awesome. So, thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. See ya.